students, let us start with the module 3 today. So module 3 has two chapters. One is Maxwell's equations and second one is optical fibers. So today we'll study about optical fibers. Let us know what is an optical fiber. Optical fiber is a device used to transmit light through bundle of thin fibers of transparent materials from one end to other end, covering a very long distance. That is, it is a device used to transmit light from one end to other end, covering a very long distance. It is a waveguide through which light can be transmitted with very little leakage through the side walls. Optical fibers are essential light guides used in optical communications as waveguides. The principle behind the transmission of light waves in an optical fiber is total internal reflection. Optical fibers are transparent, dielectric, and able to guide visible and infrared light over long distances. So these are the examples of optical fibers. So this is an optical fiber flower vase. So here we can see each strand is an optical fiber. An optical fiber, it is a very thin material, hair-like structure made of either plastic or glass. So here there is a cable of optical fiber which consists of number of optical fibers. Let us know about the construction of the optical fiber. An optical fiber is made of mainly two parts. One is the inner cylindrical layer called as core, made of either plastic or glass. Its refractive index is always N1. Thus, inner core material is surrounded by a concentric layer, another layer called as cladding, which is also made of either plastic or glass. So, this cladding surrounds this core as a concentric layer. The refractive index of core is always N1 and the refractive index of cladding is always N2. Here, N1 is always greater than N2. Even this cladding is surrounded by a polyurethane jacket in order to safeguard this fiber either from crushing or from chemical reaction. So this is what the construction part. Students, you have to keep it in the mind. Mainly optical fiber is made of two parts. One is the inner layer is called as core and the outer layer is called as cladding. Many fibers like this. Many fibers, each one protected by this polyurethane jacket, are grouped to form a cable. So a cable may consist of 1 to several hundred such fibers. 1 to several hundred such fibers. So let us know what is the principle behind this optical fiber. We know now the optical fiber works on the principle of total internal reflection. So let us study about this total internal reflection. To begin with, consider a ray AO. Consider a ray AO traveling in a medium of refractive index N1. And this medium is separated by a boundary x dash from another medium of lower refractive index N2. So here N1 is greater than N2. Now, this incident ray AO makes an angle θ1 with the normal in the medium of refractive index N1. The same ray AO undergoes refraction. The same ray AO undergoes refraction into the medium of refractive index N2 and it bends away from the normal since n1 is greater than n2. So we know any ray which passes from denser medium to a rarer medium, at that time ray will be always refracted into the second medium and it bends away from the normal. So here theta 1 is the angle of incidence and theta 2 is the angle of refraction. Now, if we increase theta 1 for certain value of theta 1 such that theta 1 is equal to theta c, we call theta c as critical angle of incidence. Critical angle, at that time theta 2 takes the value 90 degree. For such a case, the refracted ray always grazes along the boundary of separation along OB dash while the incident ray is along BO. That means you consider a ray like incident ray like BO whose angle of incidence is theta c, which is greater than theta 1, such that for a ray like this, the refracted ray, it always grazes along the boundary between the two media. That means theta 2 takes the angle 90 degree. Theta 2 takes the angle 90 degree. Now, if theta 1 is increased such that if theta 1 is greater than theta c, at that time the incident ray CO always gets reflected back into the same medium in which it is incident on the boundary. If you increase theta 1 such that if theta 1 is greater than theta c, at that time the incident ray like CO, it gets reflected back into the same medium in which it is incident. So we call this as total internal reflection. Total internal reflection. So during total internal reflection, there will be no loss in the light energy or the light signal. So this all takes place as per the law of reflection. Now, for refraction at point O, from Snell's law, we can write n1 sin theta 1 is equal to n2 sin theta 2. We know this condition. If I take theta 1 is equal to theta c, so that theta 2 will be 90 degree. We know this. When the angle of incidence is equal to critical angle of incidence, then theta 2 takes 90 degree. That means the refracted ray, it always grazes along the boundary between the two media. So let us substitute this in the above equation, so that n1 sin theta c becomes equal to n2 sin 90. But we know sin 90 is 1. Therefore, n1 sin theta c is equal to n2. Or else, I need theta c becomes equal to sin inverse of n2 by n1. If I want to calculate what is the critical angle of incidence, then if I know what is n1 and n2 values, I can find the critical angle of incidence, that is theta c. So this is what is about the total internal reflection. As the optical fiber works on the principle of total internal reflection, it can carry the light to a very long distance without any loss in the light signal. That is the advantage of this optical fiber. Now let us know how this propagation occurs in an optical fiber. So consider this as an optical fiber. We know the inner layer is called as core and the outer layer is called as cladding. Now, this line stands for the boundary between the core and the cladding. Core and the cladding, this will be the boundary. So, what is here optical fiber propagation mechanism means? A waveguide. Let us know what is a waveguide. A waveguide means a waveguide is a tubular structure through which some sort of energy could be guided in the form of waves. As the name indicates, it is a waveguide. Since we are guiding light through this optical fibers are called as fiber light guides or fiber waveguides. Now, see here, any light ray which enters into the core at an angle of incidence, it can strike the core cladding boundary. Because of larger angle of incidence, it can strike the core cladding boundary. As it strikes the core cladding boundary, it undergoes multiple reflections inside an optical fiber. Since each is a total internal reflection, so the light signal, it sustains its strength and confines itself to be within the core during the propagation. And without loss in the signal, it reaches the other end. Care should be taken in order to avoid the bending of the fiber. If you go for sharper bends, what happens? Either the fiber may get broken or light fails to undergo total internal reflection. So this is how light can be guided inside an optical fiber, the guiding mechanism or the light propagation mechanism in an optical fiber.